Say the South Carolina legislature has been short-changing them, and now it looks like some of them have had enough. 7 News anchor Diane Lee here now. And Diane, the head of the Spartanburg Republican Party announcing something they call the Local Government Funding Accountability Initiative.
Yeah, Gordon, first let me give everyone a little background here. By law, the state must pay counties money to provide state services on the local level. And since the recession hit, that money has been cut dramatically. Today, the GOP and Tea Party heads said if the state fails to properly fund local government, they'll file a lawsuit.
State government is kind of like a parent when it tells the county to provide office space for hundreds of state workers and conduct permits for state roads and bridges. The county, like a child, must obey.
How do we get the South Carolina legislature to obey its own law?
Today, Upstate leaders are rebelling. They've created the Local Government Funding Accountability Initiative. It calls on legislators to honor a state law that gives cities and counties 4.5% of the previous year's state revenue. Spartanburg County alone says it's lost $5 million each year since 2008 because of a state proviso that reduces that amount.
Let's roll back the mandates or fully fund the local government fund. We are no longer going to stand for unfunded mandates from Columbia.
A study in 2014 showed the state owed $344 million to local governments at the time. So why haven't more county councils come forward? Today we learned it has a lot to do with the fear they could lose all the funding.
I was there when the threat was made. You better be glad for what you got, because we can go in this afternoon and take it away. What do you do to that? It was incredible.
If they don't do the right thing, we are prepared. This isn't a hollow threat. We will sue them.
I encourage the lawsuit. We keep saying, well, show us how you're using the money. Show us where you say the problems are.
So you're saying the counties haven't made enough of a case for why they should be getting that full 4.5%?
Correct. And they haven't answered the questions that have been asked of them.
Okay, so you just heard Representative Brian White in Anderson say that bring on this lawsuit, and that's because he actually questions on the state side the constitutionality of what he calls, binding legislative bodies against one another. So mandating that the state pay the 4.5%. He says that doesn't happen anywhere else, even for education. They don't have a set amount that they have to pay.
Yeah, but this law didn't come out of nowhere.
Right,
lawmakers
exactly.
passed a rule that they would give this money to local governments, and now lawmakers aren't obeying their own rules.
That's exactly what I said to him. He said, well, that was 1991 when that was passed. It was a completely different situation. You didn't have, telecommuting and things like that. What he wants the counties to do is identify the exact mandates down to the dollar so that the state can assess whether they want to maybe reduce some of those mandates, bring it back to Columbia, not warehouse so many state workers in local buildings, things like that.
Couldn't the lawmakers just repeal the law instead of ignoring it? Why don't they just introduce a new law?
They're actually, good question. They're in the works right now of trying to change the formula. So there's a lot being done right now, but nothing for sure yet.
A lot of money at stake. Diane, thank you.